I done? A few weeks ago, I was sitting at my desk just minding my own business when I received a Discord notification. It was from a fellow YouTuber, Hypnotech. He wanted to get on a call for an idea that he had for a challenge. A keyboard challenge!
I have an idea.
Is it a good idea?
It's a great idea.
Okay.
Oh, it's the best idea. I challenge you to build the loudest, most annoying keyboard possible.
I have to do that? At this point, I'm not entirely sure about the challenge. Was I willing to destroy a perfectly good keyboard all in the name of a challenge, even though I don't like loud keyboards and I'm not super competitive? Yeah. Let's do it. Okay, I'm down. But in return, you have to make the least annoying keyboard you could possibly make. It should be negative 10 decibels in volume.
I'm in. Sign me up.
I would build the loudest keyboard, he would build the quietest keyboard, and then we would decide the winner based on who did their job the best. And the winner will be decided by a judging panel of other YouTubers. The rules of this challenge were simple. 1, no outside technology outside of keyboards are allowed, and 2, you gotta spend at least $300. The first one cut me off at the ankle. I can't simply hook up a keyboard to some really loud speakers and just blast Hypno out of the game. He had predicted that simple move that could have been an easy victory for me. At this point, I knew I couldn't underestimate him. He knew my every step. And with that, I started planning my build. For the keyboard, I had an idea up my sleeve that could be the key to victory. I had heard of something called the banned switches, a switch so loud, so obnoxious, that was banned from offices all over the world. Now, if I wanted to win this challenge, I would have to resort to this level of sound. These band switches were originally made by Shoobs, the king of anime references, and I knew I needed to get on a phone call with him to find out the secret recipe. Shoobs, I need the recipe for these band switches.
Did you watch my video? I actually say it like 3 times in that video. People keep commenting, what's the recipe? I say it every time.
I guess so. Just go watch the video then. And with that, I knew the secret formula. And the best part, Hypno had no idea how disgusting this keyboard would be. A few days later, all the parts arrived in the mail and I handcrafted every single switch to make sure they truly embodied the sound that I was looking for. And once they were done, I was shocked by how horrible they sounded. It's perfect. Oh my. And to make these switches even worse, I sanded down the top housings and it worked perfect. So now every time you press the switch, it's like an earthquake. While these switches were extremely loud, I knew I couldn't get too confident yet. If I wanted to win, I would have to go further. So much farther than I've ever been. So I went on a search for the loudest keyboard possible, and after testing dozens of keyboards, I was able to narrow it down on the GK61. The case is made entirely out of plastic, and this made the sounds echo throughout the entire board. It was the perfect vessel for these band switches. Now, to make it even worse, I knew I had to do some modifications to this case, but first, I had to open it up.
Daddy, no, don't take me apart. No!
The first thing I did was sand down the standoffs. The second thing I did was remove half of the internal structural supports so that now when I put my PCB on there, it does this. But I didn't stop there. I went even farther. I removed all of the rubber feet and threw them into the trash. I also put a singular screw in the bottom of the case, so now when you're typing, you get the extra wobble of the keyboard. I wondered to myself, had I gone too far? But imagining myself losing the challenge, I realized I had not gone far enough. It was beautifully disgusting. I had tried all sorts of things to make the plate worse, but it wasn't meant to be. The plate was too stable, and the only option left would be to go plateless. Now, since this keyboard is also hot swap, you get the added bonus of your switches falling out while typing too. Now at this point, I was so close to being finished, so close, but I had to find the perfect keycaps to go with this build. I picked up 2 sets of keycaps that I think would be loud, And after I tested them, I decided to go with the typewriter style keycaps that are really short and don't have any walls. At this point, I was really happy with my keyboard, but in the back of my head, I had a suspicion that it wasn't good enough. I looked into Hipyo's previous live streams and videos. I wanted to know everything possible that would allow me to win. That's when I found something that shocked me to my core. I learned that he had previously put silicone into an oversized keycap just to dampen the sound. Since Hipyo's making the quietest keyboard ever, I knew he would be crazy enough to fill every single keycap with that silicone stuff just to make it quiet. All for a chance of winning. In the past, he's put things in his keyboards like pillows and Play-Doh. He's gonna stop at nothing to make the quietest keyboard. This challenge was the perfect opportunity for him to do it. I was starting to feel like victory was far from my grasp. But when I looked back at my build and how I pushed myself to be better, I knew, even if I didn't win, I would be okay with the results. I had already sacrificed my humanity for this, and there was no turning back. So to determine the winner, we created our own trailers of our keyboards and sent it to the judging panel for their reactions and for their vote. I opted for a Michael Bay style trailer as I thought that would fit the Loudest keyboard perfectly. Here's the trailer and then their reactions right after. I found the perfect specimen.
Really went all in on the
so hollow,
trailer
yet not
vibe, I like
hollow
it.
enough. There's more I can do.
TK61.
Oh my god, looks so scuffed.
I don't need the plate, or the screws, or the feet. These switches are perfect, but I can do
Production
better.
level though.
Louder!
These magnet filed out the inside of the
Final
house.
touch. One singular
One
screw.
screw.
Oh, the humanity! What have I done? The
Spacebar's
world
not even attached.
isn't ready.
Oh god. She's not even hitting the space. Who needs space? They can figure it out. Nice.
Coming summer 2021.
Great
The
job.
loudest keyboard ever. Director by Michael Betty.
Okay, okay, I like that. I like that. Very nicely put together. I think your directing team deserves a raise. That was really good. But listening to it though, it does sound awful, but it's kind of cheating because it's not really the board making the noise. Your keyboard is just broken. I don't know if we can count. Do we count that? I don't know. I don't know.
Okay! So there was very little rattle because there was literally no stabilizers. One screw, nice.
I like the ridiculousness of adding a spacebar that doesn't even have stabs. I wish that you use the stabs because horrible stabs can really drive home the worst and loudest sounding keyboard. Overall, that was a pretty solid entry for Loudest keyboard. I would never want to work next to you.
Howdy.
Alright, ASMR.
Hipyotech
I like the
here
reverb.
with an ASMR presentation.
I feel like
That's
it's in
to
my
have
head
you
right
here.
now.
I'm really sorry we couldn't get Beauty Pie. I made the quietest keyboard possible.
I don't know why I'm whispering.
The Sun 68 with Kazoo Boba Gum switches. And it's been library
Library modded? Okay.
modded. You're probably wondering what a library mod is. And that's a fair question. I'll show you in 1 second,
I don't
but
like
first
protein
let me take a sip of my protein shake. This is a library. A picture of a library.
That is a picture of a
As you
library.
know, libraries are very quiet. So I took this picture of a library and then I folded it up and put it in the keyboard. That way it wasn't allowed to make noise.
He put a piece of paper inside? That's actually pretty
hear
quiet, but
It's
You're
nothing.
gonna have to give me a full
Because
sound
it's a
test.
quiet
It sounds
keyboard.
pretty loud. Come on, you can't have ticking on a silent keyboard. That ruins it.
I like the ASMR.
You are tapping it as light as possible.
Wait,
Is
that
that
is
good,
quiet.
gamers? Wow.
There's no rattle. Again.
Please vote for me.
needs this.
I need this.
And like instead of like tapping it like a normal, it's like being as delicate as possible. Like I don't know. That's kind of cheating. Any ticking takes away from the silent library experience. Could you go into a library with a keyboard that started ticking? No, No, because a librarian would go, shh, no ticking stabs in my library. I'm a little bit disappointed, I'm not gonna lie.
That's pretty cool.
He did utilize the stabs. He didn't cheat there, you know, because he did hit the spacebar. So overall, I love the integration of the meme of the library in the board itself. I think that was ingenious. I don't know if the production quality could go toe to toe with the movie trailer, but overall, that board is freaking silent. Apparently,
I was supposed to vote one of them. Hipio did a really quiet keyboard, you know, that library mod. And then we got the loud switches from Switch and Click. I gotta give it to Switch and Click for their presentation, the movie effects, and straight on loud keyboard.
So in terms of sound, I think the silent board was really executed well. I love the meme of it. And if there was an award for cinematography, it would definitely have to go to Betty.
I think Hipio hasn't done enough here to take the dub. The reason being, you've just made a board with silent switches and put paper inside it, and one of your stabs sucks. So, you know, some of the mods that the Switch and Click team did, sanding especially, was quite cool, you know, leaving out all of the stabs and whatnot. I mean, yeah, those things are more obvious, I guess, for a loud board, but yeah, I'm gonna give this to Betty. Sorry.
Woo! I won! Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like this video to check out that story of the trophy that I won from Hipio. And be sure to check out Hipio's video right here by clicking this card, and all the other YouTubers who helped us make this video will be linked down below. So make sure you check them out and subscribe if you like their content. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye!